And welcome to another edition of DT Live. Another impromptu live stream this evening. I gave you guys no warning. I didn't know if I was going to do anything on the channel tonight. I didn't know if I was going to stream, pre-record something. But it had been a few days since I've done anything on the channel due to my work schedule. Also, I've had some pretty nasty weather the last few days. Had a little bit of a problem keeping power one night this weekend, and also intermittent internet connection. So doing a live stream wasn't really possible the last 2 or 3 days due to some very severe thunderstorms going on in the area. All right. Let me see if I am actually streaming live. I am. Give me just a second, guys. Tonight, I think I'm going to be playing a little bit of Zero AD, which is a free and open source game. Real-time strategy game, very reminiscent of the Age of Empires games from many years back. All right. Yeah, Evan, welcome to the chat. Yeah, you're the only person watching. I did not have this scheduled. This is an impromptu live stream. I gave absolutely no notice, so nobody knows I'm here. You're the first to realize I just hit the streaming button a couple of minutes ago. Just got off work, drinking one of my favorite beverages, Modelo. Modelo, the Negra Modelo. All right. Yeah, so what I'm going to do this evening here is I will be playing Zero AD on my new machine. So I got a new computer last Thursday. I had a new computer delivered, a new computer with a Threadripper, a 12-core, 24-thread Threadripper, Radeon 7 graphics. Spent a lot of money on this computer. 32 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte NVMe drive. All in all, this new machine cost me about $2,500, but I needed a new rig to do what I do on this YouTube channel. It was very slow going sometimes making videos due to the render times, mainly because of the bottleneck with my CPU. My old machine had an AMD 6300, FX 6300. Okay processor, but not great by any means. So I would make a 30-minute video and it would take me an hour and a half to render that video. That was slow. The Threadripper should improve those times. Of course, I've got the Radeon 7. It's got 16 gigs of high bandwidth memory on the card. Singa, you just got here. I just started streaming. So you have not missed anything. Impromptu live stream. I just got home from work. I didn't know if I was going to do anything on the channel, so I just hit the stream button. I have not made a video since I made that video Thursday when I had my new computer delivered. I made a video that day, and since then, I haven't made a video since because I spent a couple of days transferring data over from my old machine to the new machine. So that took some time, and then we had some very severe weather here over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We got a little bit of rain today, but especially Saturday and Sunday, we had some really nasty weather come through. Many parts of the town I live in were out of power. I lost power on and off here a couple of times over the weekend. When I did have power, sometimes I didn't have internet. So no live streams or anything since Thursday. Haven't made any videos since Thursday. That GNU Nano video you guys got Friday, the reason you guys got that Friday is I recorded it a week before. I actually recorded that video Friday a week before for my patrons over on Patreon. That was one of their perks. They got early access to that video. So I had already had that video recorded. I did that on my old machine, so I still haven't done anything on this new machine. So I'm going to play a little Zero AD. This game is a rather large game as far as the download. When you go and sudo pacman-s 0ad, or those of you on Ubuntu or Debian, sudo apt install 0ad, the download time can take a little while. It's kind of a big game. Graphics wise, there's a little bit to it as well, as far as you need a pretty okay machine to run 0AD. I'm going to crank up all the graphics settings. I'm going to set it all to the highest settings here. Zero AD is one of those games that I can actually get to span across 3 monitors. I'm not going to do that though. I'm just going to put it on the center monitor that I'm going to capture for this video. Doesn't make sense for me to span it across 3 monitors when you guys are not going to see but 1 monitor. Evan, remember how you reviewed Windows 10? You shouldn't have selected Windows S. That's why you couldn't download anything. Yeah, you're a year late for pointing that out to me, Evan. But there's no point in telling me what I did wrong with Windows 10 as far as that review. That review was me coming to Windows 10 as a new user. How would a new user know that Windows S was not the one to select? I didn't know that. So that's the point of these videos. I come at it, from a fresh perspective. I'm not going to go back and fix it, because a new user installing Windows for the first time is going to have no idea about Windows S or whatever. They're going to make the exact same mistakes I did. And I don't think anybody at Microsoft is actually going to watch that video and care and make any changes, but they should, because that was confusing as hell for me, as somebody that hasn't used Windows in over a decade, so. Yeah, imagine how well Windows would run on your new PC. I could have installed Windows. I purposely ordered the machine without an OS. I didn't pay the Windows tax, but it did come with a small partition already on my NVMe drive that included a Windows installer. So I could have went ahead and installed Windows anyway, but I did not. So again, this is a very impromptu live stream here. Gave you guys no warning because, like I said, I hadn't made any content at all the last 4 days because of getting the new machine set up and then pretty nasty weather around here. So a few of you guys are already hanging out in the chat. So what I'm going to do, for those of you that haven't seen Zero AD before, I'm going to go ahead and just launch the game. So Zero AD is throwing up some kind of error message, which the game will run. I don't know why it gives me that message. For those of you in the chat too, let me know how the audio is coming through. As far as what you guys are hearing, you're hearing the gameplay audio, but it's not the same levels that I'm monitoring the gameplay audio at. You guys may hear it a lot louder than what I hear it, or a lot softer. Do you think the levels are just right? EB, how are you doing? What OS? I am running Arco Linux. I installed Arco Linux, their Awesome Window Manager edition, although I'm not using Awesome Window Manager tonight. I'm using Qtile. This is Qtile. Audio's good. Audio does not sound good. Static. Everybody else says the audio is good. So, is Kenny the only one getting static, or is everybody else getting static? Again, it's a new machine and I haven't had time to play with it, so could be some issues. That's why I'm asking you guys. No problem with the audio? Yeah, so I don't know why Kenny is getting static. Sorry, Kenny. Everybody else, yeah. Q1 says it's good. Atlas, Singa. Okay, Derek, have you done DX, VK, and eSync on that OS? Also, install F-Audio, buddy. I have not done anything with this OS, EB. Like zero. I just got this new computer a few days ago. Installed Arco on it last Thursday. Transferred over some data Thursday and Friday. Other than that, I have not touched this machine. Worked over the weekend. And then had some pretty nasty weather. Was without power for a little bit. On and off with the internet connection as well. So yeah, audio is great. Okay, machine specs. Yeah, we can go over that real quick for those of you that are not familiar with this this machine I just bought. Oh, let me change desktops. And let's open up HTOP, glorious HTOP. So with OBS running and Zero AD running and Firefox running, there you go. There's the 24 threads of the Threadripper. Still not really taxing the Threadripper much at all. Also, I'm streaming live in 1080p 60 frames a second. and it's not struggling one bit. Only using 3.48 gigs of RAM of the 32 gigs of RAM. The Threadripper is a 1920X, the 12-core, 24-thread Threadripper. Graphics card's a Radeon 7, a gigabyte Radeon 7. The storage is a 1 terabyte Intel 660p. That's a 1 terabyte NVMe. Yeah, Kenny says, Tall sounds fine. There's crackling on your channel. I don't know what to tell you, Kenny, because everybody else says this audio is fine. It's got to be on your end. I'm monitoring the audio here, and it sounds fine. What I'm monitoring, you guys are getting a different audio source than what I'm monitoring, though. But is anybody else getting any static other than Kenny? Oh. Yeah, OMG, Derek, you are doomed. Sergey will demand you install Gentoo on that. Gentoo would be great to install on this machine because of all those cores. The compile times would be very quick. My old machine, it took me, I want to say it took me 5 hours to install Gentoo in a VM on that machine, but that was only using 2 of my 6 cores. If I wasn't recording the process and kind of moving quickly and using all the power of that old machine, I could have got Gentoo installed in 2.5 hours, I don't know. This machine, I should be able to get Gentoo compiled rather quickly. Half an hour maybe, if I really know what I'm doing. The main thing that takes a long time on Gentoo is compiling the kernel. When I compiled the big kernel on Gentoo, it took me 1 hour and 15 minutes on my old machine to compile the kernel. Not just on Gentoo, just compiling the kernel in general. If I compile the big Linux kernel, it takes 1 hour and 15 minutes on that machine. I doubt it would take 5 minutes on this machine. That's the big time saver. Yeah, I'd like to see another Gentoo install on the new system. Well, there wouldn't be much difference in the install because I say it took me 5 hours. I didn't record 5 hours. Well, I recorded 5 hours of video, but I edited it and, and made it watchable. There's no, like, you're sitting here watching the kernel compile for an hour. So after I edit the video, both videos would look the same. Me installing it on the old machine and on the new machine. The only difference is it would, the process would be a little shorter for me. But you guys would get the same length video. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start 0 AD. I will tell you, I have played this game a few times in the past. I think I actually played the game once on the channel about a year ago. Because I think the game deserves some love. Free and open source software. There's a lot of people that dedicate a lot of time, money, artwork, beautiful artwork, music. You guys hear some of the classical music. Somebody composed that and recorded that for this game. This is a community game. So, yeah, congrats, Derek. Enjoy, bud. But Threadripper ain't the best for games, dude, apparently. Well, I don't game, EB. I'm gaming tonight, just because I had nothing scheduled for some content. I didn't buy the Threadripper for gaming. I bought the Threadripper for video rendering. Thoughts on Battle for Westnoth? I played Battle for Westnoth once on the channel, too, a while back, probably a year ago. It's a great game, too. Free and open source software as well. And the reason, I do these on the channel is I see people play a lot of Steam games and give a lot of love to, the proprietary games, the big games out there. But, the free and open source software games that we have out there, they deserve some love, really more love than what we give them. Before there was Steam on Linux, all we had was, of course, our free and open source games. And now, 4 or 5 years ago, when Steam started making their Linux client, we just all jumped on Steam. Oh, we got all those AAA titles now. We just forgot about, things like Battle for Westnoth and 0 AD and things like Super Tux and Xonotic and all those first-person shooters that we already had, all those Quake clones that we have, and there's a lot of really good free and open source games that we had. Well, I won't say a lot, but we had some good games. Alright, so let me go ahead and I'm going to play a single-player match against the computer. by default, the computer difficulty is set to medium. I can tell you right now, I probably will not beat the AI on the medium setting. Even though it says medium, it's hard. I don't think I've every time I've installed this game just to take a look at it, either personally or like on this YouTube channel, the time I played it 2 or 3 times on the YouTube channel, the computer usually completely annihilates me. I get completely raped by the computer on the medium setting. That said, let's give it a go. So I'm going to play, let's see, skirmish is the map type. Let's see, what kind of maps do we want? Do we want a naval map, a demo map? I'll just leave it at the default. Now we can select a map. We're on Syria. I could choose Sicilia Nomad, Team Oasis. There's many maps to choose from. I can just pick one, but you know what? I'm going to go back to Syria that it was on before. Looks like kind of a desert landscape here. I'm just going to start the game. Alright, so basically this game, it's all about the economy. You got to get the economy going right away or you're going to lose. So first things I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my civic center here. This is the town center. There is one other player, a computer player here. He is going to try to basically kill all my people and destroy my civic center. I'm going to try to do that to him. These women I'm going to send out to get everything, the resources close to the civic center. And we need to start farming right away. Let's get her farming. Let's get her to build a farm. Basically, we're getting wood. Got these guys chopping wood at the top. Gonna get the women working on some food. Pause the game here. And the reason I'm gonna pause the game here is because if I take a minute to talk, the AI is also playing. He is fast building up his population and getting wood and food, and it would be almost impossible for me to beat him if I take a few minutes just to chat with you guys without pausing the game. But at the top, you see I have 900 food, 980 wood, 600 stone, 300 metal, and right now I have population 15 of a maximum of 20. So it's all about, early on in the game, the women are important. Just buy all the women you can right away and get them mainly on food. The men, as you start getting men soldiers, get them on wood, especially early in the game. Food and wood early on. Later, as the game progresses, stone and metal become kind of important. But the point is, you have to build up your population as fast as you can, because the more population you have, when it comes time to send out your army to fight the other guy, obviously, the more people, the better. Also, the more resources you have going. For example, if I was fighting the other guy with my army, if I still had a bunch of women farming or chopping wood, as my men soldiers die, I have the resources to buy more because I've got an economy that's just churning away. So that is kind of the trick to this game, is to build up population as fast as you can and never have anybody idle. None of your women or your soldiers should ever be not doing anything. They should always be farming, chopping wood, or mining for metal or stone. And go back to the chat for just a second. Yeah, you didn't try to configure the kernel? No, I haven't done. I really have not done anything with this machine since it was delivered Thursday, other than I installed Arco Linux and installed a few things, so I could do that live stream Thursday night. Other than that, I haven't really done anything else on this computer since Thursday night when I did that live stream saying, "Here's my new computer." So, kind of got behind on some of what I wanted to do over the weekend. Matter of fact, I still don't have my IC dock in this machine. It's still in the old machine. I have a 6-bay IC dock that's got 6 drives in it with 6 different OSs installed on those 6 drives. I want to put it in this machine. My NVIDIA 1060 is also in my old machine. I need to take it out. Also have a 500 gigabyte Samsung Evo SSD in that machine I'm going to take out. Got 7 extra drives in that other machine that will eventually be in this machine. Of course, I got the NVMe, so 8 drives. I think that's enough storage for one machine. Yeah, Zero AD is a great game. Have fun. Sorry, can't stay and watch the stream. All right, we'll see you. Yeah, what graphics card you running? Oh, I'm running the Radeon 7. It's a gigabyte Radeon 7. I'm using the open source drivers because why not? I'm playing an open source game. I'm going to run the open source drivers. By the way, you guys didn't see it, but I set all the graphics here in Zero AD, all the highest settings. Yeah, I just put everything, as far as the shading and the blur and VSync and everything. I just set it all to the highest settings they would go. The frame rates are not a problem though. It's 61 frames per second. 60 frames per second is pretty good. This game, I can tell you right now, as you start building an army, you get 150, 200, 250 population, and then the other team is going to have that many too, and you have a giant battle of 500 different players, battling it out on screen. It can really bog down a machine. So this game, we'll test out my new machine a little bit, especially later in the game. Anyway, we got these women here. Let's get them on the food. And get her. And you know what? Why don't you build another farm? We're just going to keep adding to the population. Right now, women are important because I'm not going to take these women on any kind of marches as far as going to fight the other guy. Mainly, I'm going to leave them here to farm, keep producing food. Is the big thing. And to increase my population, I eventually am going to need to build a house. Several houses. So let's start building some houses. Building houses kind of close to where the women are farming is a good idea, because when the other player attacks, the women can actually hide in the houses. So we're going to start building houses so we increase our population. Each house gives me the opportunity to add another 10 to the population. Well, see, right now I'm at a max 20 population, maximum 20. Once these houses are built, I'll get 30, 40, 50, 60, maximum of 60. And each person I buy, of course, has a cost. The women, their cost is 50 food. So that's pretty cheap. The men cost a little more. Some soldiers, like this one, this spearman, 50 food, 50 wood. This javeliner, 50 wood, 50 food. 100 food and 50 wood for the cavalry. And so forth and so on. Each of them have a price. Now that we've got the opportunity to get more population, I'm just going to start adding folks. Get the women back to farming. And right now, adding more population is going to be tough because I don't have wood. I don't have food or wood. We're just not producing quite enough yet. Let's make some more farms then. We keep on. Get her. By the way, the controls of this game and the graphics of this game are really neat. The WASD keys for navigation, of course. But then you can also use Q and E to circle around. That's Q. Of course, E would circle around the other way. Of course, you can zoom in and zoom out. So you can really move around the map pretty quickly. And turn around for any angle that you want to see. Alright. Back to the chat for a second here. Yeah, the Modelo. Yes, I've got a Modelo Negra. One of my go-tos. I felt like relaxing this evening, so drinking a beer and doing some gaming. You guys know I never game. I never game. It's not something, I'll be honest, not something I really enjoy that much. I'm gonna send this one cavalry guy that I've got to go hunt this deer. So that's easy, cheap food right there. Got 33 population. About to be 34, 35, 36. So we're building up the population, but I wonder what kind of population my opponent has. Problem is, you can't really go check it out because, you see, he's over here, but there's darkness, right? You can't see. You can't see what's going on there until you start building out here or sending your people out here. It's called the shadow of war. So everything is dark on that side. Alright. Yeah, let me quickly catch up on the chat while I'm not focused on the game. Yeah, so yeah, it's Radeon 7. Would there be any good reasons to use proprietary AMD drivers? In certain cases, the proprietary drivers may work better than the open source drivers. I don't know. The open source ones, though, from what people tell me, are really good. In most cases, the open source drivers are a little better than the proprietary drivers. This is what a lot of folks tell me. I'm just using the open source drivers for now because they're installed, and why switch to the proprietary drivers until I actually see how the open source drivers function? So don't want to switch to something until I know I actually need to. Plus, the purpose of buying an AMD card is that the open source drivers are very usable. So I'll use the open source drivers just based on principle alone, as long as they work. You have any forecast of the part 3 of Slackware Live with Surge and EB on your channel? I have no plans for a Slackware part 3. I don't know what Surge and EB are doing. Yeah, sorry, Alex, not at the moment. Okay, love the trucking on your channel. Yeah, EB. He loves his Euro Trucker. One of these days I should check out Euro Trucker and American Trucker. Not sure if it's my kind of game. You guys know I love shooters, and I like these strategy games. But I will say, every time I watch EB drive, you know, it makes me want to buy the game. I do enjoy watching EB's trucking live streams. DT, I bet they are building a wall around you. Yeah, possibly. Again, the AI on this setting is set on medium. Yeah. Hello, everyone, and DT. Hi, Skybear. Yeah. Saint Ruff, yeah. Chris says, hey, DT. How you doing, Chris? Yeah, Euro Truck and ATS, really fun and relaxing games. I bet they are. They look like they are. Oh, hi, greetings from Prague. I finally made it to the live stream. Yeah. Okay, so again, the AI here is set on medium, and he's right. The AI on medium is not playing around. They are building population as fast as they can, resources as fast as they can. So I really need to make sure I get going here. So I'm going to start buying new people 5 at a time, if I can, if I got enough resources. Let's buy 5 spearmen, 5 javelin. That's all I can do. So I got another 10 on the way. Get these guys chopping wood. So we're at a population of 40. We're about to be at a population of 50. It's not unusual for good players in this game to get a couple of hundred in population, like within 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most. That is the trick, and that is the tough part for newbies when they first start this game, is you think you've got time, right? Well, we can walk around, look at the map, decide exactly where we want to build something. No, you got to move. Again, this is real-time strategy game. So I am going to build, actually I need to build a storehouse. The storehouse, I can't, I'm wasting time here. That's the farmstead. That's the storehouse. I'm going to build a storehouse out here. And I'm going to get these guys chopping wood, and they can deposit the wood in the storehouse instead of having to walk back to the civic center. Where these guys are just I'm just going to let them walk to the Civic Center. I'm not going to build anything out here, because once this is done, we're done with this part of the map. That's the edge of the map. They're building us a storehouse, and as soon as they're done, we'll get them all chopping. Get them on the wood. Get 5 more women. 5 more. 5 more. We're just going to keep buying. Because we need to keep adding more women and maybe build more farms. Maybe about 10 farms. DT, do you have a Discord? I do have a Discord. I almost never go to it, and I'm not sitting in it right now. You're more likely to find me on my IRC channel, over on the Freenode network, DistroTube. I don't have it up at the moment either. I wouldn't have time to pay attention to it actually playing the game, but if you want to look for DistroTube over on Freenode, we do have a nice group of people that do hang out over there. Discord, I typically only use it when I do a gaming stream and I need to talk to people in-game, because that's kind of what Discord was designed for, and it's really good for that purpose. But just sitting around and chatting in Discord, not something I want to do. So we pretty much got all the women, got more farms, and got more soldiers on the way. Got these guys that I just got, these 5. Let's get them out here. Let's start building some houses. We're going to need more population pretty soon. We're about to max out here in just a second. Do I ever go on Hex Chat? Me personally, I use URC, a terminal-based IRC chat client, but I do know how to use Hex Chat because so many distributions install it by default. I have used Hex Chat. It's a good IRC client. If it's installed and you like it, I wouldn't change it. I've been using URC for a long time, so that's what I use. Alright, so now we can add to our population. I'm going to start adding to the cavalry, because I don't have anybody on horseback, and I'm going to need that soon. Especially if I want to go harass the other player, we're going to need some cavalry. Get these guys chopping wood. Some of these women are not doing anything. Some of the guys are not doing anything either. I've got some guys farming here. I don't want that. The women are usually better at farming than the men. Both the women and the men are pretty good at getting wood. As far as mining stone and metal, you want to use the men for that. The women aren't that great. Of course, fighting, you don't want to use the women for fighting at all, unless you just want to lose them. Alright, so we've almost got rid of all the trees here. I've got something over here. Let's get this guy to go get that real quick. Make sure we get all the easy stuff. Alright, we're about to get our 10 cavalry. Alright, I'm gonna be maxed out on population here in a minute if I don't start building more houses. We gotta keep building. I'm actually not sure which direction I want to keep building some of these houses. I'm just gonna keep going in this direction. Yeah, Pure Essence, are they saying BSD? It sounds exactly like that's what they're saying. I doubt that's what they're saying. I'm not sure exactly what race of people I'm playing as. But I'm sure, you know, it's something in Latin or Greek or something, but it does sound just like BSD. And being a free and open source game, it might not be an accident that it sounds like that. They may have planned it that way. Alright, so we need to eventually move on to the town phase. This costs 500 food and 500 wood, and then I have to wait 30 seconds. But when I move from this village to the town phase, my area increases. You see the blue line? That is the area I control. I will get a boost from that, plus the options to build different kinds of buildings. Let's go ahead and keep building houses. Let's not slow down here. Got some folks that are not doing anything. Some of the men. Let's go ahead and start mining. No point in having folks that are not doing anything. So if I see anybody not doing anything, I need to have them working on something. Food is looking real good. I've got plenty of food. I can tell you right now, wood on this map is going to be an issue. There's just not a lot of trees. Some maps are very heavy on trees. You see just loads and loads of trees. You see I've already exhausted all of the trees here and here. Alright, I'm going to pause the game. Back to the chat for a second. So this is the tough part with 0 AD, is keeping your economy going. I'm already kind of out of trees, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to go get more trees. I have to go somewhere. Without wood, I can't add to my population. I can't build buildings. And basically, I'm going to lose very badly if I don't get this wood situation under control. Alright, so I think DNF uses Python. DNF, the package manager, is built with Python. I'm not sure. Not sure if it is or not. Wouldn't shock me, though. Oh, the other day when I did the review of Radeon on the channel, somebody mentioned Equo. Equo is kind of slow. And somebody mentioned that Equo is written in Python. Yeah, I have a question. Why are the emojis in the chat the Android emojis? I don't know. I have no answers as far as emojis. I don't know much about them. The only BSD I tried was Dragon BSD. Was it Dragonfly BSD? That's the one you tried. I'm not sure if have I looked at that one or not. I checked out 2 or 3 different BSDs on the channel. I know I checked out TrueOS. I didn't like that one at all. Checked out Ghost BSD a couple of times. Ghost BSD, when I took a look at it in a VM, worked beautifully. When I actually installed it on my machine, I couldn't get anything to work. Well, I say I couldn't get anything to work. I couldn't get audio and video to work. I couldn't get my microphone to work. For 4 days, 3-4 days, I had Ghost BSD installed on my main production machine, and I never had a working microphone. Which is why you never saw me doing like a live stream from me inside Ghost BSD. So I had to give up on Ghost BSD. So no on TrueOS and no on Ghost BSD. Dragonfly, I think I might have looked at Dragonfly on the channel. A lot of people ask me, hey, just install FreeBSD and live in FreeBSD. Well, it would be very tough. They're just not mature, nowhere near as mature as Linux as far as living in it on a desktop. The BSDs are really, they shine as a server operating system, but as an actual like desktop workstation, especially doing something like I do, like this YouTube channel, doing things like live streaming and video rendering, video editing, audio editing. I need to stick to Linux. Yeah, you need a lot of wood if you want to grow the population. Yeah, wood is what is going to be used to buy more population. Not the women. The women don't cost wood, but all the men will. Some more than others. And of course, you have to have wood to build a lot of the buildings. Here, later on, some of the buildings are going to require stone and metal. And some of my army might require stone and metal. I think if I have certain groups of people have a soldier called a slinger, I guess, that slings rocks, I'm going to need stone for that. If you have like heavy cavalry that uses things like elephants, for example, that's whenever you're going to need things like the metal. Yeah, the game looks interesting, similar to Civilization, an old game. Well, let's get back into it. So, all right, we have to get going quickly. I think I'm already behind the other the AI, the computer here. So, like, I got these guys.
Yeah,
I just got.
Yeah,
we need to put them somewhere. You know what? For now, I'm gonna get them on the metal. Just mine some metal until I figure out where to go for wood.
Yeah, Steve.
Oh, right here. Got some wood right there.
Yeah, Steve.
All these guys that are not doing anything, why don't you go out here and get some wood too? Just gonna start sending all the men out for wood, and I'm gonna try to expand the town out. And we're just gonna go and get these trees for now.
EST? EST?
Get these guys also out here. You know what? Because I need the wood more than the metal, probably should get these guys off the mining the metal and over on the wood. But anyway, we need more people. And again, it costs wood every time I buy. Especially I'm buying people 5 at a time. Okay, we're getting attacked. Get the cavalry over there. I hope I don't lose too many people. Because I was already short on resources, and if I have to go and buy a bunch more, this might be the end of the game already. I mentioned that the AI was tough. This is how the AI is tough. It does stuff like this. We might have to retreat a little bit and then get our people together. Get these guys in the fight. I'm going to keep buying people because I'm going to need to replace. I've already lost about 15 guys, but I just bought 10 more. You want to see the fight? Let's zoom in. Alright, let's get you guys together. Get you in a formation. Now let's go get these guys. I done lost too many people to not go get these guys. Alright. Alright guys, yeah, I was on the wrong scene there in OBS. Well, the computer attacked me with about 10 people. And he killed about 15 of my guys. You didn't miss too much though. The look on my face, yeah, the look on my face is I don't like the computer in this game. It's very difficult, even on the medium setting. Like, you see all the dead horses? That was that cavalry I had built up. So, I lost all those folks. So, I can already tell you, things are not going well here. I'm out of wood. Nobody's chopping wood. We gotta get back on the wood. Yeah, now you will need a lot more wood. Thank you, Windows enthusiasts. And this is going to be the problem. I've got enough food. You know what I'm going to do? All of you women that are farming, let's go build a storehouse out here. And then I'm going to have them chop all that wood. I've got over 3,000 in food. I've got enough food for a while. I'm going to have them work on that. I'm going to have these guys work on this wood here. And then I just need to start building up population quickly. We'll do the women because they're cheap and they only require food for me to buy. That just gets me people that I can leave behind farming, maybe chopping wood. We need to build a barracks at some point. The barracks, military barracks, will allow me to buy soldiers as well instead of having to go to the civic center and buy them and wait. I have a second place that I can buy from. So, potentially, you can build up your population twice as fast. The barracks takes a long time to build. Let's get more people on it. We'll let these women go back to farming. Can't forget about food completely. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of food pretty quickly. Every single person or an animal you buy requires food, so can't just stop farming completely. Alright, so we got our barracks here. Get everybody chopping wood. Now I can start buying people and new classes of people. More cavalry. I've got a couple of different cavalry options, like this horse archer. And let's buy a few of them if it doesn't cost me much. How about 20 of them? Or 15 of them? Yeah. I don't have enough resources. But we're getting there. We've got all these women chopping wood. We're getting wood pretty fast now. The problem is once these two groves of trees are done, I mean, where am I going from here? At some point, I have to move out. If I move out, I'm going to run into the red team.
Yes,
So we got all these women that are not doing anything. You know what? Start them farming again because I'm out of food. So now I got pretty good sized groups of women chopping wood and farming. DT is getting wood pretty fast. This is killing me.
Yes,
Alright. Let's go ahead and buy soldiers. And we're going to just keep buying. We got to build population. I'm maxed out on population. We got to build more houses before we can do anything else. Alright, let's go ahead. Get some folks building. Like you guys. Let's build a temple while we're at it. This is a really neat building. It allows me to buy a priest. Or several of them, which help heal some of my guys during battle. If you're near the priest, your health goes up. So it's a good way to heal your people. Looks like I was able to build the temple, even though I really haven't mined any stone. Most of that stone was just what I started the game with. Eventually what I could do is, once I'm good on food and wood, I can have some of the women, even though they're not great at it, mine for stone. Or actually, I could buy some men. Yeah, 10. These next 10 men, I'll get all of them on the stone. So we're going to need more stone. We need to keep building houses for our population. Let's keep on expanding. Matter of fact, let's do another storehouse. This won't help with population, but the storehouse, we need something out here. Because we got more trees, we got stone out here. Save them from walking all the way to this storehouse. We got some cavalry now. We got these guys here. Let's get them on the stone. Right. We don't want anybody just sitting idle, other than the cavalry. They can't mine. They can't get you wood. They can't get you food. Well, they can get you food if they hunt animals. But the cavalry, they're the only ones really that kind of should be idle. If I wanted to, I could send them out. I could send them out to scout. You know what? Since I built the temple, let's get some priests. How about 3 of them? We need to build more houses. Let's build a house here. Matter of fact, while they're here, I'm just going to build several houses. We got to get our population much higher than 100. The computer that I'm playing against probably has a population of 150 to 200 by now. Keep on buying soldiers. We'll buy some at the barracks that I built if I can. What am I low on? I'm low on food. So, well, they're almost out of wood over here. Well, they still have this tree here. Well, I also have this here. Get them getting that. Alright, still increasing our population. Let's get more cavalry. A little bit of everybody. At some point, you have to go attack the other side, though. I mean, this is... And sooner rather than later is probably a good idea playing against the computer, because I can tell you, he's doing better than I am. He's managing his economy better. He's increasing his population faster. So the more time that goes by, it's just that much. He's just that further ahead. So The town is getting bigger. You need to build an Apple store soon. Yeah. We need an Apple Store genius. Wonder if you can purchase one. Yeah, women might start a book club. You never know. Yeah, I mean, there's still more buildings we could get that we haven't bothered to build yet. And of course, I haven't bothered moving to the city phase yet. I need metal to move to the city phase. So these guys, why don't you guys go mine some metal? Because that's the next phase we need to move to. Okay, all these women are just standing here. Still got a couple of trees. These won't last long, but go chop that. Actually, I don't need all of them chopping that. Get some of them back on the farm. Okay. And we're being attacked over here. How did this guy get way the hell over there? I didn't send him over there. Let's send the cavalry to take care of that. It's because we're chopping wood. So we ran out of wood, and these guys have moved on way out here chopping wood. Problem is, the other team is over there. Let's not go fight them just yet. You got these guys that were building houses, that are done building houses. Not yet. Keep building. Let's build some houses here. And here. Here in a minute, we have to just go ahead and decide it's time to go get the other guy. I'm starting to see he's done. Is that a fortress he's built? He may already be on the third phase, the city phase, which I haven't got to yet. I still need more metal before I can move to the city phase. Let's go mine some metal then. Get more folks mining. The wood situation is looking good. So let's go ahead and build up the cavalry, get more archers. Yeah, BSD. Yeah, this particular race of people, they say BSD. There's one that says something that sounds like a familiar phrase. I forget what it is. But it's not. They're all speaking, of course, foreign languages, not English. You have many different civilizations to choose from. Alright, let's get you guys. Actually, it would be great to get that animal right there. Why hasn't anybody killed that thing for food? Alright. I think we've probably gone as far as we can with that. And we're really out of wood, though. That's unfortunate. I should build a marketplace. A marketplace would allow me to trade food or wood or stone or metal for some other resource. Let's build a market. Our population still is not as high as it should be. Let's get everybody chopping wood for now. Alright, this should get us to about 165, 170 population. Of course, a lot of it is women, probably 30 or 40 women, but over 100 men. We may go on a raid. We're not just going to wait around all night. I've got enough horses. Oh, I've already been attacked. Let's get out here. Now here they come.
Yes,
Well, if that was an attack, that was a weak attack. He sent 3 guys. Yeah, that was never gonna work. He's sending more though.
yes,
Okay, let's get you guys back.
yes, yes,
Oh yeah, here they come. Well, we were gonna go attack them soon, so.
yes,
Good thing is I got some of the priests walking around, so they help with the health. So I may not lose that many guys. And this still isn't a great attack by the other team. He sent no cavalry, no like heavy equipment, no battering rams or catapults or anything like that. So if he's already on the city phase, he's really not building any of the big equipment that he could. So I may not be that far behind the computer here on medium. I assumed he would be way ahead though. Okay, that was it. We took care of all that, and I don't think I lost anybody.
yes,
If I lost anybody, it might have been 1 or 2. That was really bad for the red team. I don't know if he actually planned that, or we just met by accident because he had guys right here and I had some guys here. Sometimes you can't really control your people. You know, they just wander off on their own. Let's go ahead and get rid of those guys. This is a defense tower. These are very strong. They're kind of tough to take. But destroying like this house that this guy's building would be very easy. One thing, he hasn't even finished building it, so a few arrows from my archers here, kind of prevent it from being built. But once my guys get over there, they'll destroy it completely. Yeah, now that's in ruins. Go ahead and destroy this house while we're standing here. Of course, by destroying houses, this is less population he can add. Actually, we took the house. I now own that house. You see the blue ring around it? So we didn't destroy it, we just claimed it. It was part of the blue territory now. And I still really good on population. You know what? I know I was having more men earlier. Any men over here? A few. Let's get all of them on the march.
yes,
Because we might eventually need them in this fight.
yes,
We lost the house. The house is no longer blue. It's back to being part of the red territory. And we have lost some people, at least 10.
yes,
Probably due to these archers way over here. We gotta go take care of that problem or we're gonna keep losing people.
yes,
I got archers around the corner here. I tell you what, if this is all the red team had, surely not.
yes,
Because he was not doing well at all if that was all he had. We killed a lot of his population, but
yes,
and we're still losing some folks. I probably lost about 20 or 30 folks from this raid. But this was a good raid. Even if I retreat now and go back to my territory, we hurt this guy. You know, I can't take that defense tower. I'm wasting my time there. They're hitting it and the health is not going down at all. I would just be wasting my time. My army's not big enough to take that just yet. But we hurt him. Right? He is severely behind in population probably now. So I'm going to get all my guys back to this part of town, and I'm going to start getting my population back up. Maybe we'll buy some more women. I didn't lose any women, but hey, why not? So get my people back, and we're really low on food or wood because everybody that was chopping wood was a man, and I sent them all off to fight. But again, that was not a bad situation. I think that worked out for me in the end. All the women look like they're farming. I even left some men mining for stone and metal. And stone and metal look in really good shape. So I should be able to enter the city phase. What am I behind on? Advance to city phase. I need 750 stone, 750 metal. I have that. Why is it not available for me to buy yet? Not exactly sure how that gets unlocked. Requires 4 town phase structures. Okay, I just haven't built enough town phase structures. Like, how about another barracks? I bet that counts. Let's build another barracks. Hey, you guys, keep chopping. We don't need everybody building the barracks. How about build a blacksmith? Once I build some of these structures, I should be able to go ahead and purchase the city phase. Alright, so this grove of trees is gone now. So we're starting to run out of wood again. We eventually going to have to start moving further out. I may have to go try to steal wood from over on his territory. Try to expand some of my territory. Let's build another house or two. Let's go ahead. More cavalry. The cavalry, I didn't really lose any cavalry during that fight, I don't think. The horses were good. And since I don't want him to have time to rebuild his population, I may go ahead and try to attack him as soon as we're done here. Let's get some more healers. I've already got plenty. Got these guys over here. Go ahead and get everybody in a formation. Including the priests, we're going to take them with us. Let's get into a battle line. Get the cavalry that I just created over here too. Yeah. And let's go. You know what? I wanted to take that house earlier. We'll send them there. Can I buy more folks while I'm waiting? No, still low on wood. Wood is going to be a problem. He already bought elephants. This is not good. You guys need to come back. The elephants are kind of tough. They can take a lot of damage. But he only has 2 of them. And they're kind of costly. They're kind of expensive for him to buy. If I could take out his elephants without me losing anybody, that would be great. That's a pretty serious blow to him. Yeah. Let's go ahead. That house that we didn't destroy before. Yeah, bring that thing to the ground, please. Now that I'm over here, he's got another defense tower. Well, he had more structures than what I saw initially, and he's got more people than what I saw initially, too. And we may not want to make a stand here just yet. They're all going into is that the Civic Center or is that the fortress for that? Anyway, we took the house at least. Problem is, as I'm killing his people, he's probably buying more. He's probably not as hurting as I am for things like wood, for example. He's got a lot more trees still around his area. And this is the kind of stuff. Let's get you guys. Take out those archers. Cavalry here. Alright, let's not get everybody too spread out. Oh yeah. You see all those defense towers now? See 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And we're still not strong enough really to bring those to the ground. So let's go back. I've got to find some wood somewhere. Where is a good... Well, you know what? I had trees here. Let's go over this area. That's not something I can chop, is it? No, I guess not. That's something I can chop, though. I've got more food than I will ever use. Let's see. Trade resources between your own markets for those and those of your allies. Okay, how do I trade all that food for wood? Anybody that plays 0 AD, how do I do a trade? Because the wood situation's out of control. Without wood, I can't buy more population, I can't build buildings, I can't do anything. So... yeah, start chopping. It's not enough trees really to do much here. But it'll give me a little wood. I got these trees back here. Alright. Women. So we're all on food. Chop the trees. So let's start there. See what we can build. A military colony. That's interesting. Maybe building that will allow me to move on to the city phase. But wood is not increasing. Maybe they just haven't had time to chop the wood and get back to the civic center. Probably that's the case. Once some of these people finally make it back to the storehouse here and the civic center on the other side, I'll have a little bit of wood to work with. I'll pause the video for a second. I think I'm in trouble though. Why do I say that? Is because I haven't built any like defense towers, siege towers or anything. And over on his side, he had a lot of towers. Those things are tough to bring down. I haven't built anything like that on my side. That's a mistake on my part, probably. Population? I don't know. My guess is we're probably about even on population. He had elephants, though. That's good to have elephants. Once you get elephants and siege weapons, battering rams, catapults, those things really are effective. So, click what to buy on the bottom. So that was the trade market. Yeah, so let me go back to that. What to buy at the bottom. There's nothing, I mean, this is allows, that's, yeah, not really sure what you mean there. Ah, how about right here? I see. So sell food, yes. I want to buy wood is what I want to buy wood, and I want to sell food. In fact, just keep buying wood. Heck yeah, I love it. Look at all that wood I have now. Thank you. Now, let's get some population going. Where's the other barracks I had? Let's buy everybody. We're gonna keep on there. Oh, we got new classes of people we can buy. Make sure everybody's still chopping wood. I've got folks that are not doing anything. If you're not doing anything, start getting food. I don't mind having all the women go back to farming because now I can trade it. I can trade all the food for wood. And these guys, I don't really need the stone. Let's get all the men out of town. So let's get them out here. Let's get ready for battle. I don't want the trader though. Blacksmith, I don't need to do anything there. Let's get another healer. They're always good to have. Well, what I said, I hadn't built any defense towers. Let's go ahead and build one. Let's not get everybody building the same one tower. Let's build one right here. It'll let me. That's a city wall. I don't want to build a city wall. I don't want the drop-down terminal either. Alright. This is kind of a complicated game for a noob. I'm very much a noob. Alright, so I have defense towers now. You know what? Let's get some of you guys chopping the tree here. Go ahead and get a storehouse out here as well, because we might start chopping these trees now that we are out here. Alright. I'm sure all these women are farming. Some of them are not. Are we being attacked? Heard some kind of horn, but I don't see anybody attacking us. It might have just been one guy from the red team stumbled upon us. Alright, so I got the storehouse, of course, to collect the wood here. That way they don't have to travel back to this storehouse. Alright, we need to start getting some of our folks together. Everybody with a horse. Let's start getting all of you folks over here. We're going to get into a formation here in a minute. Is that everybody that had a horse? That might be. There's some more cavalry. More cavalry. Some of these women are not working. I don't know why. Do I have too many? I just have too many in the same area. Alright. I am maxed out on population. So... Let's build another house or two. Two more houses while I'm here. I lost some people, so somebody's getting killed somewhere. I don't understand where. Where did they attack me? Did they attack back in the town? No. Although they're getting close here. I probably should watch this. But I lost some people a second ago. I'm not sure how. Got these guys way off on their own. It might have been some of them that died. Because the computer is smart enough, he will flank you sometimes. He'll come around the backside. Instead of where you see here, he might take his army all the way around the other side of the map. Just for funsies. Some more healers. Alright.
DST. DST.
You know what? I've got so much population now. I've got more population. Still guys waiting to be created once these guys die. So, let's just go fight. If I lose some of these folks, I've got more coming, so...
DST.
Where are you guys going? No, come back.
DST.
Alright, let's see if we can take a tower. See if we're that strong yet. I don't know if we are. See guys, going in the tower here, that's going to be the problem. Now we got elephants again. Just 2 elephants though. By the way, with about probably close to 400 different characters going on the screen fighting and all that, frames per second are about 27 right now. Is that great? Not especially. I can tell you the previous video cards I had, a battle like this, you would see major like stuttering and things. This is actually pretty smooth. Again, I also set the video settings, all of it's on the highest settings as well. I'm sure I could increase the frames per second by setting it back to more standard settings. I'm not letting the elephant get away. Get the elephant, guys. The elephant's running. You don't get to run. He's almost dead. Dang it, you guys let the elephant go. I gotta get the elephant. Alright, the elephant's dead. Alright, so I had more guys on the way back here at the barracks waiting to be created, I think. I guess they're already in the fight. No, they're all here.
DST. DST.
You need to build a power plant and a power station before Godzilla comes into town. We do need to move on to the city phase, though. We still haven't taken care of that. Alright, what I wanted to check out was, could we actually take a tower with 239 population? Of course, not all 239 are here, but they're close enough. Get them all focused on a tower and see what happens. They are not really doing any damage to that tower.
DST.
Yeah, they are. We can take the tower if I can stay here long enough without getting harassed. I can destroy the tower. That would be a major step in the game. We did it, I think. That's it. The tower turned blue.
DST.
Let's get this building. What building is this? I don't know. It's already damaged, though. We can start taking some of this territory. Now all of this is blue. Let's take this house. I could start building right here if I wanted to. Some things. Alright. I guess we can't do much with that house. There it goes. Alright. Now the tower went back to red. So I guess I can't really hold the tower. Maybe the camels had something to do with it? I don't know. I guess I couldn't hold that either. Okay. I got it back, though. Alright, let's just get out of here for now. I think this is really what I need to destroy, though. Also, I don't see, like, the rest of his soldiers. I mean, I've been over here for a while, and I'm not getting attacked by anything. So he may be out of... He may just be out of resources completely. I'm going to go ahead and buy more soldiers to replace the ones I'm going to lose, potentially. So it doesn't look like I'm really losing anything. He had an elephant in this fortress. Build a civic center? I don't think I can. Don't you have to be in the city phase to build the civic center? I still have not moved to the city phase. Let's go ahead and do that. So that cost me 750 stone, 750 metal, which is no big deal. I have to wait a while before I make it to the city phase, though. There's a time that you have to wait as well. Doing good on food. We're about to take this fortress here. Yes, so took care of that. Can I build a military colony over here? That way I can just start buying people over here instead of having to go back to my part of town. Matter of fact, I should... If they had trees, I'd build a storehouse over here. Let's go ahead and start collecting wood. Okay. Go ahead. Start buying people. I didn't mean to buy women, but oh well. I might start farming or something over there at some point. Got all these folks. I'm at the population limit again. Got about as many people as I can have. So, let's take the towers. I could build a fortress. I could build a library. Go ahead and build a fortress over here. Why not? We're just going to keep expanding into his territory. I said the medium difficulty on this can be tough at times. I've got him beat. I just need to finish him off. He can't produce anymore. He's not farming. I've killed off most of his people. Every now and then he'll buy a new cavalryman or a new elephant, but I don't think he can't really build an army to fend me off anymore. So really, I've won the game. Where is the civic center that I need to build? Oh, I lost somebody just then. Library, Tower of Knowledge, reduce the cost of research time, technologies. That's interesting. I've never built a library. Is it really necessary? You know what? Why not? While we're building stuff, let's build a library right there. We got folks that are not doing anything. Yeah. Somebody died. Okay. How do I build a civic center? Is it even an option yet? Anybody know? Any of you 0 AD experts out there? Because I've beat the game. I just need to know how to finish this off. This is 0 AD, by the way. Mars was asking what game is this. Actually, where is his Civic Center? I think if I just destroy his Civic Center, the game is done. Is this it? Yes, this is his Civic Center. I think that's the other way to beat the game. It's just his one Civic Center here. I think that's all he has. If I destroy it, he's done. Got guys over here at the fortress and the military colony I built. I just leave them. Okay, Gabe says capture the Civic Center to win. Okay. That should be easy, because I don't think he has anybody protecting it. Looks like he's got a couple of women over here mining for metal. They're farming. I'm just gonna leave them. I'll let them keep farming. Why bother killing them? Yeah, it looks like my guys are gonna kill them anyway. But hey, I took the Civic Center. That was it. When I took the Civic Center, some houses fell. Okay. I think that was it. Of course, without the Civic Center, without his military fortresses or anything, I don't think he could buy more army. He's not producing anything anyway. There's no more farms, no more trees. The game is done. So we're going to call that the game. So, for those of you interested in the strategy behind 0 AD, now this was me against the AI, and admittedly the AI kind of screwed up kind of early on. He sent those raids against me, which is a good idea to harass your opponent, especially early in the game. Keep him working for food and wood and population. If you can harass your opponent, that's a good strategy. But one of those raids early on in the game, he sent, I don't know, 10, 15 cavalrymen against me, which was a good idea, except he sent it against a very large group of people that I had out there, you know, kind of on the edge of the wilderness there. And I just completely blew away his cavalry and didn't lose anybody. So once it started down that road, yeah, how could somebody possibly dislike this video? Well, you know what? I don't game. And this is not a gaming channel. Many people are joining DT Live right now, and what the hell is DT doing? I've never seen DT play a game. But anyway, of course, the point of this is not that I love gaming. I mean, this is a fun game, and I like this. This is strategy. Playing against live opponents would be great. Of course, you can see how complicated this game is. Somebody that knows what they're doing is going to, of course, completely destroy you. It's all about building population as fast as you can while keeping the economy going. So you got to keep the food and the wood and later on stone and metal coming. If you don't, you're going to get wrecked in the game. So, matter of fact, one thing you can do in the game. So this game does have some pretty neat things to it. So I mentioned if you want to study the game and figure out like your mistakes and stuff, there's a replay function here. I could go back and replay this game and see things I could improve on. I could also, because I can't see what the other guy is doing during the game because of the fog of war, you know, I'm not on that side of the game. So this is replaying everything I did. But now, if I wanted to, I could actually go over to his side and watch what he's doing. I could actually see what he's got. He's got food, wood, all this, his population. I could follow what this guy's doing. Especially if I lose to a better player, I might want to go back and replay and watch what a better player, what a good player who knows what they're doing, what their strategy is. So the replay function is something you definitely want to use if you want to take this game seriously. To speed up the replay, there's a time setting here. And you can set it to 1.5, 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. So a good one is 10 times. So let's 10 times. You watch his numbers change. You know, he's already at 25, a 30 population. It's doing good as far as getting food. Wood, not so. He was struggling with wood very much like I was. I think the problem with this map is there was not a lot of wood on the map anyway. So he was having some of the same problems I was early on in the game. Without wood, you can't really build up your population, you can't build buildings, and you can't really buy like expensive soldiers, spearmen, cavalry. Anyway, we're not going to replay the whole thing, but that is how the replay function works. If you're using Linux Mint and click Synaptic Package Manager, look for RTL8812AU DMKS. Install it. Your Wi-Fi USB adapter uses Realtek from other source I have read. Somebody was having a problem with their USB adapter. Yeah, Windows enthusiasts, do not underestimate women. They have their own weapons. Yeah. And of course, yeah, at the end, I couldn't remember exactly how to win the game. I knew it involved the Civic Center in some way. Luckily, you only had the one Civic Center. Now, you can build multiple Civic Centers later in the game, which of course expands your area even more. Well, it was a nice experiment. I wonder what else would happen if you play with other people and stream it. Great stream it. Yeah, I would love to play live with other people. Obviously, I don't know anything about this game. I mean, I'm trying to explain it to you guys who maybe don't know anything about the game. I'm very new to this game. Anybody that knew what they were doing would completely wreck me. I mean, I didn't know how to win the game at the end. I'd won the game, and I just couldn't figure out how to finish it off. Actually, that was one of the, like, 1 or 2 times ever I played this game and I beat the AI. And that's like the medium setting. The medium setting, especially starting out, don't be surprised you get wrecked every time you play. It might take you 10, 15, 20 tries against the computer at the medium setting before you kind of figure out what's going on. Because early on, when you first launch the game, you're like, oh, pretty graphics. I'm going to take my time and build nice buildings, build these big walls that don't serve any purpose. I'm not really worried about population, or I'm not in a hurry to build up population. And then all of a sudden, you know, this guy with 250 cavalrymen just boom. And you and your 30 women die very quickly. Yeah, do a stream playing against patrons. Yeah, we could do that. I don't know if I have any patrons that are gamers. Much like I'm not a gamer, a lot of the people that follow my channel probably aren't really that into gaming. They're casual gamers at best, probably most of them. Yeah, keep it techie. I have to try this game. Yeah, you should try it. Zero AD's been around forever. Technically, it's still in alpha. There are on the 23rd alpha of this game. It may never get to a 1.0 release, but it's been under development for years. And it's pretty full-featured game. Cheers, guys. We have to do this with a few more novices. Gotta go. Enjoy the stream, though. Keep it up, DT. Thank you, Ivan. Or Yvonne. Yeah, let me exit out of this. Oh, we got some stats we could review if we wanted to check some things out here. Let's just get back to the main menu. Now, there is, of course, a multiplayer. I've never tried the multiplayer. Multiplayer hasn't really been a possibility with Zero AD until some of the more recent releases of it. But I can join a game. I guess I need IP. So, yeah, so I'm going to need an IP. Multiplayer host a game. Game lobby. I would have to create an account. I might do that at some point. The fact that it does offer the ability to play multiplayer is neat. Just because of all the details in the game, and I didn't go over not even 5% of what this game is about. Each soldier, each class of citizen that you can buy has its own special traits. Every building in the game has its own unique properties as well. Some of the buildings can be garrisoned with soldiers. I didn't garrison any soldiers in any of the buildings during my game because I was on the offensive. I wasn't trying to station soldiers like in sentry towers. Like the AI was smart. He built all those defense towers, and he had soldiers in those towers which helped defend them, especially early on. I wasn't strong enough to take those towers because they were manned, and I couldn't do enough damage to those towers to take them down until late in the game when he lost pretty much all of his army. And then my army was 250 strong. But you can build towers and garrison them. Same thing with the fortresses and the military colonies you build. The houses, the women should be in the houses. That's typically what they do. Under attack, the women should go in the houses. So the women build a farm near the Civic Center and have them farm. They can take food to the Civic Center, build houses around the farms. That way, when they're under attack, the women hopefully can get to safety. So you don't lose all your women because they're weak. So somebody sends a bunch of cavalry after the women farming and there's no houses for them to get to, you're going to lose all of them. And of course the music is still playing. I'm going to go ahead and close out the game. I will chat with you guys for a few minutes before I kill the stream. Anyway, 0 AD. Great game. Really addictive too. I mean, once you get into it, I mean, you got to try to get better. You got to figure out what went wrong because there's so much strategy to it. I could see myself getting wrapped up in 0 AD. Like I need to be a better 0 AD player. I need to keep, beating my score. Keep beating the AI on more and more levels of difficulty. And then playing against good players, real life players that know what they're doing. Yeah, Tigwent. Yeah, women should be in the house. DT 2019. There is a flat pack of 0 AD. Okay. I did not install it with the flat pack. I installed it through the AUR. I get an error message when I launch it, though. It doesn't affect the game. The game still launches and plays. For some reason, I get an error message, though, on launch. Maybe I should uninstall the package that I installed from the Arch repositories and install the flat pack instead. I don't have any flat packs or snaps or app images on the system yet, but I use all three. So, or did on my last machine, so I may go ahead and add flat packs to the system. Alright guys, well I do appreciate you guys hanging out for a little of this gaming. Anyway, I hadn't done anything in days. For those that arrived to the channel or to the stream tonight, the first couple of minutes of the stream I talked about this. I haven't done anything on this machine since Thursday when I did that live stream announcing I had my new computer. Haven't recorded any video, haven't done any streaming. It's been working, so I worked every day since then, so I've been busy at work, but other than that, I'd come home and I have a couple of hours of time to kill, and I should do something with my new rig and share it with you guys. We had some very bad storms over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, some really nasty thunderstorms. Lost power a couple of different times over the weekend. When power was on, sometimes I didn't have internet. So, it's been like 4 days since I did that video Thursday night about my new PC, and I've done nothing with it on camera. I was like, you know what? I just game. Let me install 0 AD. It's a great game, free and open source game to use with my free and open source drivers on the Radeon 7. It's all open source on this rig at the moment, trying to avoid proprietary software. That's impossible. I'm going to install some proprietary software at some point. But for principled reasons, we'll stick to free and open source tonight. So, anyway, I just wanted to do something on the channel tonight. You guys did get a video Friday, that GNU Nano video about the syntax highlighting in Nano. That video, though, was not recorded Friday. I recorded that video a week before, the Friday before that. I recorded it as a perk for my patrons over on Patreon. They got early access to that video a week before you guys. But you guys got it released this past Friday, but that was recorded on my old machine. That wasn't recorded on this new rig. So I still haven't actually recorded and rendered a video on this rig. All I've done is 2 live streams. Yeah, have you let your new PC burn for 24 hours to see if any issues? Yeah. Before the warranty expires, yeah. So, yeah, take care, DT. Call Rock. Okay, appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, you can't get a Lamborghini and then use it like you're driving Miss Daisy. You got to put it under some proprietary games. Yeah, but you know what? 0 AD, is taxing. I mean, it's a free and open source game, but you saw some of the graphics, and especially because you have so many individual characters on the screen doing different things, it really taxed my NVIDIA 1060 a little bit. And it really taxed like the 960 that I had prior to the 1060. Also, the CPU on that machine wasn't great. This machine, though, I mean, with the high settings and everything going on the screen, you can see it averaged like 60 frames a second when not much was going on. And then when the battle happened, the frames per second would drop down to like 25, which is still okay. Because on my other cards, it was stuttering. You really couldn't tell what was going on. You couldn't follow along with the battle because it was just jittery and stuttery. This thing really handled it like a champ compared to those old cards. But what I really want is to maybe tomorrow, certainly Wednesday, I would like to get back to my standard schedule. I'm going to pre-record some video. I don't know, maybe a tutorial of some kind, and pre-record, a 5-10 minute video and render it with my new Threadripper and see what my render times look like in Kdenlive now that I have a much, much better CPU. I actually liked that, even though I've never cared for Nano. Yeah, I don't use Nano either. But a lot of people do, and I thought it was neat because I didn't realize you could do some of that in Nano. And matter of fact, your next comment, didn't realize it was capable of doing too much in comparison to VI. Yeah, it's extensible. You can extend it a little bit and do more with Nano than what most people use it for. Most people just use it as your standard plain text editor, as long as you can type, delete, copy and paste, quit and save. That's all you need. So, but there's a little more to Nano than just that. Of course, VI, VIM, and Emacs are on a whole different level as far as extendable. Yeah, I should do a ed tutorial. Could be fun, but nobody really uses ed. I say nobody. As soon as I say that, there's going to be that one person, that nonconformist, that swears they do everything with ed. I don't believe you, though. Ed is, it's not something people use. I'm just going to be honest. Like the Nano video made sense. A lot of people use Nano. Vim makes a ton of sense. I mean, Vim is kind of the standard text editor on most Unix-based systems. It's always installed anyway, and most sysadmins and, programmers, developers, they know how to kind of navigate around in Vim. So it makes sense to cover those. Ed, like 3 people would probably be interested in that video. I did a video about Ed. Yeah, give us a Cubes OS review, especially now with your 32 gigs of RAM. Yeah. The problem with Cubes OS is because of the unique nature of that operating system. It's all these containers. You can't do it in like a VM. You can't record the install process, for example. That's usually why, even if I install something on physical hardware, I usually do the installation portion of it in a VM, so it's easier to capture the install process. Can't do any of that in Cubes. Cubes, it won't run in a VM. Just the nature of it. So I'd have to install it on physical hardware. It'd be hard to capture the install. I guess you don't need the install. You just want to see me use Cubes OS. That could be interesting. I do have extra drives. Once I install my IC dock, I got a 6-bay IC dock with drives in my old machine I still haven't taken out and put in here. So I've got the extra drives. I could install Cubes on one of those extra drives and do something on camera. Cubes is an interesting OS. I mean, conceptually, it's pretty neat as far as the concept of Cubes. Now, will anybody actually use it? I don't know. I mean, I know somebody's going to say that Cubes is their daily driver and they love it. Again, kind of like with Ed, I don't believe you. So, I don't think too many people just want everything to be containerized. I don't think they want their operating system that everything, every process going on is basically its own little hypervisor. And especially for a desktop OS, I don't think something most people would want to run or enjoy running. I think it would be more tedious than what it's worth. Yeah, ed is a standard editor. You need to know it. It is essential. After 0 AD, the time has come. Yeah. That's what people like to say. Ed is the standard editor. Of course, that's coming from the man page. When you do a man for ed, that's the description. Ed is the standard editor. Yeah, I like to use pure OS, but couldn't get Wi-Fi to work. Yeah, well, of course, it's going to be a driver issue. Your Wi-Fi card probably requires a proprietary driver, and I don't know anything about pure OS as far as how you would go about getting the third-party proprietary drivers for your Wi-Fi. You'd have to contact support. Isn't Snap and Flatpak like using containers? Yeah, they are. They're their own container. It's a little bit different how Cube's OS does it, but it's kind of the same concept. Yeah, but everything is a container, right? Pretty much anything you do on Cube's OS is its own little container. The thing about the containers, especially something like Snap, why I find Snaps really useful, maybe not necessarily on the desktop, although I do install desktop Snaps. Server installs with Snaps, I really love. If you guys are interested in ever setting up your own Nextcloud, Snaps makes this like dead simple. So typically you want to set up a Nextcloud server somewhere. Well, you need a web host. So go sign up for some web hosting somewhere. And then, okay, you have your host machine. Now you need to log into it remotely, maybe SSH into it. And now you need to install a LAMP stack on it. So you need to install Apache or Nginx or whatever web server you want to install. MySQL, MariaDB, you got to set all that stuff up and then configure it. Configuring Apache can be a little tricky on some distros. It might take you an hour to get your LAMP stack up and working, and then after you're done, sudo apt install Nextcloud, assuming you're on Debian or Ubuntu. Well, you know what? On a Ubuntu system now, you don't need to do any of that. So you get your web host up, SSH into it, add a command line, sudo snap install Nextcloud. Done. Because the Snap is a container. It installs all the dependencies for Nextcloud, which include the LAMP stack, Apache and MySQL and all that. So, done. So it just makes things so much easier. Yeah. Pure OS doesn't allow proprietary stuff. Well, then you're out of luck, Tigwin. If your Wi-Fi card needs a proprietary driver, you won't ever have Wi-Fi working on that computer. So you're going to have to install a different distro. So I hate to tell you that, but that's where if you can't get non-free software and you have to have non-free software like for your Wi-Fi drivers or your video driver, you got to change to a different distro. Gabe, Docker install Ubuntu, log in. Docker install Ubuntu, log in. Log in. Enjoy the 100% memory and CPU usage. Yeah. So I guess, Gabe, you're not a big fan of Docker? I tried using the Snap version of Nextcloud, but I couldn't get it to work. Just pulled the whole thing and dropped it in WebRoot. All worky. Okay. So I've done a couple of different installs of Nextcloud. One very recently, a couple of months ago, on a remote web host. I signed up for some web hosting somewhere, some cheap cloud hosting. Got Nextcloud up and running on it, no problem. Also, locally, I installed Nextcloud on my Raspberry Pi on Raspbian with the Snap, and it worked. So, and I think I played around with the Nextcloud Snap on localhost on my Manjaro machine, my old machine prior to this one. Never had a problem getting the snap to work though. But I've only done it 2 or 3 times. Could be different depending on what the host machine is running as far as the distro. Obviously, being a snap, you would hope that if you're running like the Ubuntu server LTS, it's probably your best bet on that. So, is there a flat pack for Ed? I don't think so. Yeah, probably just my ignorance of snaps and flat packs. I don't know. I'll be honest, as far as the technology behind snaps and flat packs, I don't know that much about, how those particular package formats are built and anything like that. I haven't, really dived into those that deeply. Because I don't install that many of them. I mean, I say I install snaps and flat packs on my system sometimes. If a program has a snap or a flat pack, and like on their website they say, hey, if you want to install this program, the easy way is sudo snap install. Yeah, I just do that. Even though it's probably in the AUR, I could install it from the AUR. Some programs have a snap and a flat pack. I've seen some programs actually have a snap, flat, and app image. So pick your poison. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I do appreciate you guys hanging out for a little bit. We did have some fun. I hope those of you that were interested in Zero AD, check it out. Zero AD, because it's free and open source software, is in your distro's repos. I promise you it's there. If you're running an older distro, it may not be up to date, but I don't know if Zero AD has a snap or a flat pack. They might have a snap. Google it or DuckDuckGo it. But Zero AD is probably in your repos. If you're running a rolling release, if you're on an Arch-based system, Gentoo-based system, you're running Tumbleweed, Debian Sid, anything like that, just download it from the repos. It'll take a minute to download. It's a big download, but it's worth it. The game, fantastic. And it's free and open source software. I like supporting free and open source software. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream. Before I go, of course, let me thank these guys. The show was made possible by Ansem, Carlos, Chris, Douglas, Dylan, Leo, Rob, Robert, and Tony. They are the producers of the show, my highest tiered patrons over on Patreon. Without them, would I have played Zero AD tonight? Yeah, I probably still would have played Zero AD, but I still want to thank those guys. Those guys are awesome. Show's also brought to you by all those fine ladies and gentlemen, all those names on the screen that help support me over on Patreon. All right, guys. Peace.